Well,
Yeah.
you're all all about. Let me just make sure you're holding the mic up too.
So how
You're
do you?
you're all about being proactive because I heard at a young age you were writing and
Yeah.
really got into acting and the arts.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think we're. I think most kids are. We're trying to find that expression. What do I want to do with my life, and how do I express myself? I think one of the things that's really important is that young people really learn to write, because reading is really important, but being able to write and to express, it's really really important. It doesn't mean you necessarily be a writer, but it shows you that we can do something ourselves,
Right.
without having someone give us permission. So much of it seems like we're waiting around for permission,
Right.
and I think we need to take the initiative. And also, when you write, other people can sort of have a little access to you and what's going on with you. A lot of times when we have ideas for businesses, we go out and we look for investors. When you write, it's a way of going out and getting people to invest in you, either financially or just in spirit, to support you. And we need support for our ideas, and to realize that people really want to see your dream come true. I'm very happy to be part of your dream being fulfilled, and I want that. I need
Yes.
that. I mean, and when it's realized in its fullness, I grow from that.
That's
so,
awesome.
I think it's really important.
You've had a very long acting career, and there has been some ups and downs throughout that. I read a quote that I guess was kind of personal to you, and it said, "There's those that learn about it, and there's those that do it."
Right.
And you wanted to be on the other end that's doing it.
That's doing it. Yeah.
And acting is a hard thing to navigate, but
Yeah, it's a hard thing to navigate because it's just not clear. I'd gone to school. I went to Wayne State in Detroit and got my bachelor's, and then I got a scholarship to go to Yale. And while I was at Yale, I began to realize that everyone who had graduated from Yale that I knew were teaching. And it's wonderful. I love teachers, and I don't want to take anything away from that, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. So I just turned my focus in other places. But I've always been blessed. I had a grandmother who raised me. My mom died when I was 3 months old, and I never knew my dad. And not knowing my dad was just something I just couldn't, make sense out of. I couldn't put it in any kind of perspective. But my grandmother really took time to emphasize that God is my father. And once you sort of get that, then you get that you have value that's non-negotiable, that nobody else can take that away. And so once you get that you have that value, then you also get that you have the right to ask for and expect to realize anything that you can imagine or dream of, it's possible. And that it doesn't come from anyone. The universe is happy to provide it for you. But you've got to know that you're worthy, and you got to believe in the possibility. So I've always believed that it's just a matter of me deciding. And once I got into acting, I'm like, okay, I'm home. I can do this. Because I tried every kind of job you can imagine. I mean, and I finally got the good job. I was a communications consultant for the Michigan Bell Telephone Company. That was a good job. It paid good. I got to wear a suit and tie, and they gave me a little green car, and I hated it. So I'm like, okay, I want something that I can do. And the first time I walked on stage, I knew. And I'm like, okay, God, I'm home now. I got this.
now you had, done acting for a very long time, and then the blockbuster hit was Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And did you, at that time when it hit, did you know that it was going to be as huge as it was, or were you just like so taken aback and just appreciative of where the universe led you?
Well, the universe has ways of teaching you and giving you what you need. And so Ghostbusters was one of those things that I was a single dad. I had 2 sons. They were, little guys. And Ghostbusters came along, and I thought sometimes you put your own stuff into it, that when this movie comes out, it's going to be a huge hit and it's going to change my world, and it didn't. But and that bothered me. But sometimes what you think you need isn't what you necessarily need. So I had growing to go through, and I didn't get any work from Ghostbusters for a long time, but I was able to take the training and the skills and apply it in other areas. So I left from movies that I had done mostly and went into TV, and I did Different Strokes and Taxi and Bosom Butt. I did all those TV shows, but I needed to build my skills, as an actor. Ghostbusters was wonderful. People liked it, but I didn't get a job from it.
Okay.
It was just the opposite of what I expected. And some of it had to do with not being included in some of the promotion, not being on the poster, and the way the studio dealt with me as sort of an outside addition to the team.
Okay.
But that's okay, because once again, my faith was never in the people or the industry. That was one of the things my grandmother really emphasized, is put not your trust in man. So I'm not looking for any producer or any studio to give me a job. I'm looking to the universe to touch the heart of the right person to give me the right job.
Oh,
and I've been very blessed.
I feel that. So now you're on APB, which is the right job.
Yeah, this is that just sometimes it's keep talking about my grandma. It's my morning and talking about my grandmother. But she said, that we are such a miracle, and the odds of any of us even being born is zero. If you imagine all the generations from the very beginning of time, each one had to mature, come together in the strangest ways, rendezvous in ways you can't even imagine. How your parent met that parent when they were down, whatever, come together, agree to mate, go through pregnancy that's difficult in and of itself, to have a child and nurture that child and protect that child so that he can give birth to the next generation. And it's an unbroken chain. It's guided all of us. We are the success of all those generations. All their dreams and hopes, we're living those dreams now. I mean, it's gotten us to this amazing place where we can live this life, and it's a joyous experience, unless you think it's not.
No, I didn't.
Then it could be awful. People go, "Oh, my life sucks." And well, that's maybe you should look at it differently.
Right.
But I have no idea why I went on that. So the universe will provide, and so I can have an idea, and the universe knows how to touch somebody on the other side of the globe, somebody in London, and 2 days later we meet at Starbucks and suddenly he happens and I happen, and now we're doing this amazing thing. So I'm not smart enough. And it's amazing to me how many people think they're smart enough. Oh, I did this thing and I created this. And no, yeah, you did. You're a part of it. But the universe provides us, and we have all those generations with us, hoping for us, rooting for us, loving us.
Yeah. Well, before you go, let's talk real quickly about your character on APB.
Oh, I'm doing a show called APB. So that's why I went through that whole thing.